Whoa, what is good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to a brand new video. So I've had a very stressful few weeks of filming videos, doing work. So I thought I'd just do a Q&A as a one-off, just to sit down, relax, kind of not chop up the video so much, just sit down and enjoy kind of like a bit of a longer video. I'm not sure how long this Q&A is going to be. I have a lot of questions because you guys have been absolutely wonderful and sent in plenty of questions. So this might be half an hour, it might be 40 minutes, I do not know. I'm not going to chop it up too much. I'm just going to let it run for you guys to enjoy. And I'll also put in the bio the timestamps for each question, just so that you guys don't have to look through the whole thing to find your question that you may have asked and I may have answered. Also, thank you to everyone that has recently subscribed. I really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Rowntree. I am a level 6 architecture student in the UK, and I make YouTube videos. I'm technically a YouTuber. I'm not sure if that's a good name to have. But yeah, let's dive straight into it. So question number 1 is going to be from, I'm not even going to try and pronounce people's names because I know I'm going to butcher them so badly. So how do you imagine yourself in this profession in a few years from now? So obviously during this whole coronavirus pandemic, obviously everything is up in the air in terms of finding jobs and all that kind of thing. So personally, I don't really know where I'm going to find myself in the next few years. I'm hoping that maybe, I think my plan really is to get a couple of years experience working, so maybe 1 or 2 years working, do my masters, and then I'll either from that point go back into working and do my part 3 straight away, or I'll set up my own practice. So I really do want to set up my own practice, but it just depends when the right time is going to be. So yeah, I imagine myself having a job of some sort and carrying on the YouTube whole journey. I'm just kind of seeing where everything kind of leads me. I'm just going to let it happen. I'm not really going to plan out the years ahead because I don't like to plan out too many things. So yeah. Can you make a video about architectural sketch? Yes, I can do. I'll try and do something. To be fair, I've been thinking maybe I could start doing some more tutorial based videos, which that might come in a few months time after I've finished my degree, when I've got a little bit more time to spend more time on them kind of videos. But if you guys want me to do some more tutorial kind of videos, please let me know. But I am really enjoying doing my vlogs at the moment, kind of these fast paced quick vlogs. So but yeah, I could do a video talking about architectural sketch. Which laptop is best for an architect or an architecture student? So I would just basically advise you not to get a Mac. That would probably just be my one piece of advice. A lot of people are going to hate me for saying that, but Macs are just not ideal for anything to do with architecture, apart from the fact that you can run Photoshop, InDesign, etc. But in terms of having softwares, you want to have a Windows laptop or computer realistically, with a decent bit of RAM, a good core. So I've got a Core Intel i7, which runs perfectly fine, it runs smoothly. So I've got HP Envy, and you basically just want something that's going to be compatible with as many softwares as possible, or the softwares that you use. So software such as AutoCAD, which you can use on Mac and Windows, and then you want things like Rhino, Revit, which you can, I think Revit you can only run on Windows. And then some of the rendering softwares as well you can only run on Windows. So you just got to weigh up the pros and cons, but I definitely advise everyone to get a Windows, and just kind of like a decent quality, not too expensive, especially if you're a student. You don't want to be spending too much money on like a big boy laptop. So my laptop was £1,000 and it pretty much does the job perfectly fine. So when did you get your piercing and do you regret it? So I got my piercing when I was 16. So I specifically remember my mum telling me, if you ever get your ear pierced, I'm going to rip it out in your sleep. That's what she said to me. And then I got my ear piercing, a little bit nervous to tell my mum because I didn't tell her I was going to go get it. Came home and I was like, Mum, and I walked into the office when she was working. I kind of tilted my ear towards her. I was like, Mum, see if she got the hint, and she was like, oh, it's not bad actually, I quite like it. And now she actually really likes it, and a lot of my family do really like my piercing. So Yes, I got this when I was 16. No, I don't regret it. I actually really like it. I was contemplating getting my nose pierced, but I think that'd just be a bit overkill. And yeah, do you regret studying architecture? 100% not. Though obviously there is a lot of tough times for architecture. You'll go through periods of time where you'll question whether you want to be an architect or not. There's always that kind of thing. You will always question things, but I always look back at how much fun I've actually spent doing the work, realistically. So no, I don't regret it. And what would you study instead if you could? Probably something to do with sport, nutrition, kind of along them lines. Where/how do you get inspiration from your projects and concepts? So a lot of, throughout university, you get a lot of help and advice from your tutors, and they kind of lead you in certain directions to look at certain types of people, and then from there you can start interpreting that work, and then you can find other people and that kind of thing. So my tutors have very much led me into looking into certain types of people, and then just over a long period of time I've kind of built up an understanding about these architects and these architects' work, and kind of the architects that kind of link between each other. And from that way I've just kind of built up this catalogue of knowing where to look for certain things and certain drawings. But how I get my inspiration is pretty much my tutors advise me on where to look. But books are really good. So books is something that I've realised very recently. I never ever used to read books. So I started reading books in like October time. I'm even just picking up a book and skimming through some of the drawings and looking at some of the descriptions of the drawings. Honestly, it will change your life, so do it. Plans after uni, hopefully get a job. How to stay motivated for weight loss and muscle building during isolation. I'm probably not the person to come to about that kind of stuff at the moment. To be honest, I am still training. I'm still doing resistant work with, I get my broom, I put it through the resistant band, stand on the resistant band and do bicep curls. I do lat raises. I've tried lots of different things, rows with resistant bands. Resistant bands are really good. But to be honest, I'm not that motivated, I'm not that bothered about holding on to muscle. And I'm not really looking for weight loss at the moment, to be honest. I'm just trying to maintain some kind of physique, as well as keeping on top of my uni work at the same time. So I'm not really too focused on the whole training aspect of things. I'm mainly just focused on doing my university work, getting that out of the way, and then I can start enjoying my training again after that. What made you want to study architecture? To be honest, I don't know. It was just one of them things that for a long period of time it's just something I've always wanted to do. So from a very young age I just knew I wanted to study architecture. I know it's a bit weird. I don't really know what really happened for me to want to study architecture, but when I was younger I was very much into Lego, building things, and I think I just kind of decided from a young age that that is what I wanted to do, and I didn't even really think about doing anything else. I just set my mind to that, and as I've just gone through it, I've kind of realised that this is what I want to do, this is the route I want to go down. So yeah. How do you manage your time as a student YouTuber? I'm a student YouTuber. Manage my time, so what I try and do, if I've got a little bit of spare time as I'm doing work, what I tend to do is just pick up my camera and start filming some of the work I'm doing. And then the moment that I pick up my camera and start filming things, I start to get ideas. I start to think how I can start discussing about certain things that I'm doing. So for me, realistically, it's just picking up the camera. Sometimes if you don't want to film a video, or you can't be bothered to film a video, you will notice that as soon as you pick up the camera and you start filming, you get into the swing of things, you start thinking, right, yes, I'm filming a video now. But it's that initial actually picking up the camera to do that. Then the whole editing side of things, it's a hobby. I absolutely love editing. So I kind of just do that in my spare time. If I've got half an hour or an hour between some of my work, sometimes I'll break up my workload with university, with editing. So I'll say, like, I'll do 2 hours of work, and then I'll do half an hour editing, and then I'll do an hour of work, and then I'll film for half an hour. So I just break up my time doing that, and filming and editing is just a hobby of mine. I absolutely love it, so it doesn't really feel like a task. I just kind of balance it all, because I use it to kind of break up the days. How How are you feeling in How are you feeling with the quarantine? It's a bit of a weird one. Obviously, we're stuck inside and we can't really go anywhere. For me, I think the fact that I'm studying architecture has helped me in this situation, because we stay in a lot and sit down and do drawings all day every day anyway, and I'm kind of used to being sat at my desk all day every day doing work. So in some aspects it's just forced me to do more work, so I'm just sat there doing work because I've got nothing else to do. But there is aspects where I do feel quite like not claustrophobic, but it is a little bit weird not being able to go out and do things that you'd normally do, meet people that you'd normally do, and not kind of living a normal life, which is really, really strange. All around I'm coping fine. I'm kind of just getting on with my work, and I'm trying not to let it distract me too much, because you can start overthinking things and then you start procrastinating about things. So I just try and keep on top of the work, keep working at it, and I kind of just try and just get on with my own thing. But yeah, I'm feeling alright. Bit weird, but yeah, it's alright. With your degree, did you feel a learning curve at the beginning, or did it all come naturally? 100%. The moment you start studying architecture, you'll start questioning everything. Everything will be a learning curve. You will change from the moment you enter uni. You will change and evolve over the years, and things will happen along the way, and just, it is a crazy journey becoming an architect. Obviously, I don't know how, I haven't got there yet. I'm only 2.5 years in, or over 2.5 years. 2.5 years? Yeah, I'm third year, honestly. Losing my mind. But yes, it is a learning curve. As you go along the way, you will change, ideas will change, your perception on things will change. You'll get bored, you'll get really excited, you'll cry sometimes, you'll stress. It is a roller coaster ride. However, some things have come naturally along the way, and yeah, it is a massive learning curve. The whole thing is just crazy. Any tips for essay writing? Not really. Just make sure you nail a structure. So I'm not the best writer, if I'm honest. I really had to work hard and read a lot for my dissertation, but I definitely advise people to get a really good structure first before they start writing the essay. It's very easy to begin writing a load of words, and then you look back and you think, that doesn't make any sense, it doesn't follow any kind of structure, you've missed this, you've missed that, you've missed your critical analysis, etc. So definitely before you begin writing, make sure your structure is on point, make sure that it's going to work really well, and then you'll find it much easier to write, because you'll just pretty much just fill in the gaps along the structure. How long is the course? 7 years. 3 years to get a degree, 2 years to get a master's, 2 years training to become professional. What is the best advice you could give for me if I want to study architecture? Go into the course with an open mind. Go into the course willing to learn, for sure. I think that's a key one. You want to be raring to go, and you don't want to be held back by anything. You want to test as many things as possible. You want to test as many concepts as possible, and just be open for learning as much as humanly possible. And you really want to make the most of the time that you are there at university. How do you develop your architecture skills the quickest? I don't think there's quick speed to how fast you can learn skills, but I think just testing things, constantly testing things. Over the 3 years you will test so many ideas, because if you think about it, there's so many projects throughout the 3 years. I've probably done about 20-30 projects throughout no, that's not right. Yeah, probably about 20 projects throughout the 3 years. So with each project you've used different skills to maybe test different ideas, different ways of representing work. And along the way you kind of just build up these skills, and then when you get into third year you might want to do something that you kind of did in second year, and then you could do that quite quickly. So I guess it's just testing, practicing, working on different skill sets along the way, and you'll slowly start building up this kind of catalogue of skills and things that you can start working on throughout the years. How do you keep your motivation up? I just this is something I've been discussing recently on my Instagram page. If you're not following my studio, it's at Tom Ray Studios, thank you. How do I keep my motivation up? I think It's looking at the end goal, looking at where you want to go. So especially for a third year student, the end goal is to get the degree. The end goal is to graduate and get the first part out of the way. So at this point, yes, I'm in quarantine, yes, I'm 6 weeks away from graduating and I don't have to do work if I don't want to, but essentially I've done over 2.5 years of work. Why would I slow down now? I think these are the things that I tell myself if I'm kind of relaxing a little bit too much and them kind of thing. I just tell myself, you've got 5 weeks left, you might as well just give it your absolute all for the last 5 weeks, otherwise you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. You're only here, you're only going to do your part 1 once, so you might as well absolutely nail it and work as hard as possible. And essentially we all want to be architects, and so you just got to keep working hard, and that's the kind of things that motivate me. I just look at the end goal, I don't look too far ahead, so I give myself like small goals, but yeah, I think that's really important. Where would you like to do your master's degree and why? I'd like to go somewhere else, maybe a little bit further, maybe Newcastle, Cardiff. Just I don't know, to be honest. I want to just get out there, put myself out there, yeah, and just see where it takes me. How do you stay productive during quarantine about schoolwork? So I think this is probably a big topic and something that I could discuss within a podcast or something. But productivity, I think for me, it's all about the routine. So obviously being at home is a bit different to being at university. You don't have your normal routine where you go to your lectures, you go into uni, you get up, you have a coffee, etc. But for me, I try and replicate as many things as possible that I'd done at uni and bring that back home. So I've brought my desk back, I've brought the exact setup that I had at university back home, set it up into my kitchen. So it kind of feels like I'm still in that university environment and I'm still kind of switched on to be doing work. And then I'd continue doing my things like waking up at a certain time every morning, having my coffee, chilling out for 10-20 minutes watching YouTube videos, and then getting showered, getting ready, and then doing work. So I'd basically work as if I'm still at university and have this kind of routine that will just keep me going and keep me working. And then when I notice myself kind of dropping off, I'll maybe have a couple hours rest or a day off, just to kind of reset, and then I'll go again the next day. So it's basically just keeping a really good routine, and I think that way you can just really keep on top of what you are doing, setting yourself a to-do list every morning, setting yourself like mini plans and mini goals for the week and the days. I think that way you can really keep on top of your work, you can really keep motivated and working towards the goal. And yeah, I think routine is just massively key, and routine has just definitely just changed my life for sure. So yeah, I think that's really important, routine for sure. Even things like having a lunch break. So my sister isn't at work at the moment, she's back at home working, and obviously it's a completely different environment being at work and then being at home, but she still sets up her day as if she's working up till lunchtime, which is 1 o'clock. She'll have a 1 hour break and then she'll carry on working. So it's even things like that, just having a specific set time for your lunch, which you'd normally have at university, and kind of envisioning yourself still being there, still working, and that way you can keep on top of the work and you can keep in that kind of working environment. With uni and lockdown, do you have a daily routine? Yeah, for sure. Like I just mentioned, mentally and physically. I think physically as well, I still have time to train. I still have time to go on a walk, take my dog for a walk. Especially mentally being outside, I think that is really important, walking. Obviously we can only go out once a day, so I'd take Oscar on a walk maybe. Sometimes I'll go outside and do some skipping in the garden. I'll even just go in my garden and just do some kicky ups for like half an hour with a football. Just that way it keeps me kind of going, mentally as well as physically, because being sat in a desk at a table looking at a screen 24 hours a day is an absolute nightmare, and it's stressful, it's hard work. So you need times to just go outside, get some fresh air, some time away from the screen, and yeah. Favourite sport? Let's go football. We love a bit of football. Do you like a specific / signature style? I I guess I do. I think I'm slowly starting to build on my kind of style, which is quite like a sketchy. So I'm not a big fan of like CAD line drawings. I like hand drawn stuff, so like Daniel Libskin, Labousse Woods, that kind of style. I absolutely love that. So I guess I'm starting to lean towards them kind of drawings. But like I mentioned, over the years you will build up and you will test different styles that will work well for you, and then within third year you start kind of building up your own style and building up your own brand around that. So yeah, I guess I do have a specific style, but I still am testing a lot of things. What football team do you support? I'm going to be ashamed to say this. Arsenal. I know if you're laughing. What are the biggest challenges and attractions of architecture? Biggest challenge, I guess, is the workload and keeping on top of it, because it's very easy to come off track, very easy to get demotivated. So I guess the biggest challenge is just keep going, just keep working. If you have too long of a break, sometimes it's hard to get back. So say if you have a week or 2 weeks off, it's very hard to get back into the swing of things. So that's why I try and just maintain like a decent workload throughout a long period of time, just so that I don't have too much time off, which then means that it's hard to get back into it. So I guess the biggest challenge, and also the biggest challenge is that there's an unprecedented amount of ideas and routes and concepts and things that you can test. I guess that is not really a challenge. I guess that is something that you can really embrace within the course. But then at the same time, it's a challenge to decide what paths to go down, that kind of thing. Because it's such a broad subject, there's so many things you can go down, so many routes. Even after you graduate, you can go down so many different routes with an architecture degree. What's the most important thing in your portfolio? I think the most important thing for a portfolio is telling the story of your project, even through the graphics, the way you represent your work. You want to be able to tell the story throughout the whole portfolio. I think that's really, really important. And yeah, I think on that note, I'm going to wrap up the Q&A. If you've enjoyed a little bit of a longer video, please drop it a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. My throat hurts from speaking so fast. I notice whenever I film, I speak really, really fast. And I don't know why, I'm kind of like shouting at the camera, which is a bit strange. I should probably just speak normal. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying the vlogs at the moment. I'm certainly enjoying filming them and editing them. I don't know why, there's something about shorter, quicker vlogs. It's just, I find it a lot more entertaining, and I do really enjoy them. So if you enjoy them, that is absolutely fantastic. If you've got any questions, please just drop them down below in the comment section. I'll answer them within the comment section, or if you want one on Instagram, just message me on Instagram, or I'll just answer them in a podcast or another Q&A in this kind of format. So yeah, thank you for watching another Tom Rowntree video. Don't know how to finish this. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.